Assalamualaikum warahmatollahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss about human learnings. This topic is taken from Douglas Brown book, Principle of Language Learning. So in this chapter, we are going to define this content based on the Brown's book, based on the Douglas Brown's book, and then I'm really sorry for not being able to make it into one single video because I have kind of like limitation in terms of like YouTube and so forth. Okay, to begin with, we are going to discuss about learning theories. Several things that you have to discuss. How do human beings learn? When we talk about learning theory, we talk about how do human beings learn. And when we talk about this, it is related to the second concept about some theories of learning. Okay, later we are going to discuss, and then later after you know it, are you going to claim that one theory is better than the other? No, it depends on the situations. Okay, theories of learning A will be suitable for theory B, for group A, and then theory B, for example, will be suitable for group B, and so forth. Okay. So in principle, learning theories is an organized set of principles explaining how someone get knowledge. So what I'm going to highlight in this case is that it deals with the principles on how someone learning get knowledge. Remember, knowledge. Okay? Because you are teachers, because you are teacher students, all of you are teacher students, you have to know these learning theories and then use this as the guideline to help you to kind of like select like how to conduct the instructions. It involves like instructional tools, techniques, strategies, approaches, method, and so forth. So you are going to have the direct link between them. And then in the learning theories in this chapter we are going to discuss like four, and then the first one, it deals with the behaviorism theories. We have the classical behaviorism and operant conditioning. Later we are trying to differentiate between them. And then we have the meaningful learning theory by Ausubel, and we have the humanistic psychology by Roger. Okay, before we go to the differentiation between classical and operant conditioning, we have to be able to define what is behaviorism. Behaviorism is a theory which believes that behaviors can be measured or trained or even can be changed. Can we? Yes, I do believe about that as well, because if we have like something condition that stimulate us, it can be a good it will change our behaviors. And then those who believe in this theory believe that someone or the person environment will determine their behavior. Environment including like the close community, or for example like your close friends. So for example, if you have like 5 students with you and then you go there, you are comfortable with them, always comfortable with them. So 4 of them, for example, they have good ability, and or they have, for example, they are diligent enough. They are good student and diligent enough. Whether they like it or not, whether you like it or not, sometimes the conversation will talk about like the lessons. From one meeting, one meeting to second meeting with your friends, the conversation, whether you like it or not, will be about that. Okay. So it will change. It will affect your behavior. At first, probably you don't really care about course. You don't really care about the subject. You don't really care about like scores. But because your close friend love to talk about it, and then you find it interesting. It is called as stimulus or stimuli, which shape our behavior. And in this case, when we talk about stimuli, we have like classical and operant. What are they? I would like to give you an example for the classical. It's quite popular though. So before the conditioning, we have unconditioned. So if dog has a salivation after food, and then the response will be salivations. This is unconditioned stimulus, so it's just like, yeah, unconditioned. And then bell will be the neutral stimulus at first, and the response will be no salivations. And then for the conditioning, so we combine between the unconditioned and neutral stimulus, and then we have the unconditioned response, salivations. And after that, we only give, for example, uh, condition stimulus of like bell, and then it results salivations. What I'm going to talk about, this Pavlov classical theory is that it occurs when a natural reflex respond to a stimulus. So, for example, kayak cuman diiming-iming gitu ya, no real reward and punishment, cuman diiming-imingi. Kalau ada makanan kan orang ini, atau misalnya kamu, for example, if you are, this is real, for example, like kamu diiming-imingi, you want apa, bisa sekolah lanjut, itu kan iming-iming, itu kan stimulus. Banyak di luar sana, gurumu, for example your teacher, and then your friends, itu sampai berangkat ke luar negeri, itu stimulus loh. Responnya sebenarnya pengen kan. Nah, apakah itu dikejar atau enggak itu tergantung. Jadi kalau cuman berupa iming-iming, natural reflex only, pasti ada pinginan di situ. Jadi di sini learning prosesnya adalah association between stimuli and reflex, tanpa ada punishment dan reward. Oke, yang bisa menghasilkan tanpa harus ada iming-iming, kalian akan belajar. Jadi ada iming-iming kalau kalian belajar rajin, aktivitas organisasi rajin, sering baca dan lain sebagainya, nanti nilai kalian bagus, nanti kalian punya kesempatan kerja yang bagus. Itu adalah menggunakan Pavlov theory. Tapi kalau kalian sudah terbiasa dengan belajar, akhirnya kalian tidak perlu menggunakan itu. Oke. Tidak perlu otomatis kalian akan belajar secara mandiri. That's the Pavlov theory. What makes Skinner operant conditioning is different is that it occurs when a response to a stimuli is reinforced. Jadi ada simple feedback system. If a reward or reinforcement, can be positive reinforcement, can be negative reinforcement, follows the response to a stimulus, then the response become a more probable in the future. Oke, jadi responsnya tuh lebih real. Kalau misalnya kamu ini, kamu rajin belajar, bukan cuma iming-iming, tapi akan diberikan setelah melakukan aksinya, it means that more probable, akan lebih terjadinya tuh lebih sering. Kalau cuma, for example, diiming-iming, kalau kamu rajin belajar di bahasa Inggris, misalnya if you can speak English well, for example, iming-imingnya adalah kamu bisa ke luar negeri. Oke? Tapi kalau di Skinner operant conditioning adalah itu beneran, misalnya itu yang ngasih tahu adalah orang tua kalian, for example, and your family is rich enough, for example, and then the probability you go abroad is there, ada di situ. Ada juga di sini negative reinforcement atau consequences, okay, that reinforce the desired behavior are arranged. Jadi konsekuensinya tuh ada memaksa, ada sedikit kayak keterpaksaan reinforce the desired behavior, okay. And then the new behavior pattern can be repeated, okay? Dapat di-repeat, diulang-ulang terus, becomes automatic, okay? And in this context, both behaviorism in the classroom, it can be used like drilling. Ada praktisnya, drilling. Terus ada dan repetitive practice biasanya, both ya, drilling and repetitive itu adalah both classical and operant conditioning. Tapi kalau when we talk about like bonus point, participation point, verbal reinforcement, itu cenderung it tends giving weekly quizzes, positive and negative reinforcement itu cenderung menjadi operant conditioning. And mostly I don't know why the student at the university levels itu masih butuh yang namanya this operant conditioning theory. When, for example, I ask you, come on, say your argument please, and so forth, you never talk. Okay, so probably it affects you. Sampai I have to say